everybody. Welcome to our second virtual school-wide meeting. I'm Mr. Cope, and I'm outside of school here. And guess what? We're going to go inside. Right now, the greatest school ever invented. We're going to learn some amazing things. We're going to talk to Mrs. Lair about the garden that we all use downstairs. We're going to talk to Mrs. Pastino about autism awareness or acceptance. We're going to talk, I went to the pretzel factory and talked about how they make pretzels in National Pretzel Month. And then Mr. Keel's going to give us a workout to get us pumped up. And then after that, we're going to talk about some fourth grade students and some of the work and amazing things that they do in here. And then lastly, to kick it off, Mr. Nice is going to take us on a farm tour. So come inside with me, everybody. All right, going to the pond here. Thank you, Mrs. Lair. Back in here. All right, so can you give us a little information about the pond? How long has the pond been here at Upper Providence?
This is our 12th year, I believe. Could be 13.
Could be.
Somewhere around there. We had a favorite teacher in Springford, Carol Lippy, and back at the time when she passed away, everyone wanted something to have a happy memory of her. And Carol loved the outdoors and loved teaching. So we started this area in memory of Carol Lippy, and then it just kept growing. We just kept adding to it and adding more personality. More groups would come out and help, and people come in the summer, and classes come outside, and we have an old signature project here on the patio of people's names when we were first getting started who donated to help us get this patio.
Yeah, I believe Mr. Pence has got 3 bricks out here somewhere. I'm sure that's not that hard to find.
A lot of our local landscaping people have helped us too, which has been great. Right now the pond is not on because it's got tadpoles in it, and we're trying to fix some things in the creek bed. A few people have been helping me with that. So by next week the stream will be running again, but the tadpoles do a little bit better with the water, a little bit more still.
Well, let me ask you, who kind of came up with the design, the ideas for the pond? Because you have a seating area, you have obviously the pond, and some of the trees and the plants and things like that. Were you part of a committee, or was there a group of people?
A group of people got together, a bunch of teachers did, and then we talked to some professionals in the area to get more ideas. There was a man who did the first one at Royersford Elementary, Steve Sen, and his whole idea and the program called Ponds for Kids comes in, and the kids actually built this pond with their teachers. So that was a long time ago now. You're talking about kids that are in college and high school. But we actually put all the rocks in place to build this pond.
That's pretty nice.
Yeah.
All right, so let's start over here. Let's get a tour of the pond.
Cool.
So go ahead and have a seat. Go ahead and relax there, Mrs. Lair.
All right.
So what is, you're just like a student, what is the purpose of this area right here with we have 5 tables here?
We want to be able to have a whole class sit here and have a teacher be able to talk to them, or they sit and get some work done. Thanks to Mrs. Pastino for this area, by the way. She applied for a grant from Exelon, and they paid for all this furniture for us. So it's been great having this area here as a spot. And sometimes, sometimes the other areas are a little bit muddy, so having the hardscape and this area here lets it be accessible all the time.
Great. And these bricks that came with it, this was like a community kind of thing, right? A lot of people kind of had their hand in building this, correct?
It was 6 years of people donating and planning. A lot of people put their time, energy, and money together to get this hardscape piece here. Our first 5 or 6 years here, you were just going to get muddy when you were out here many of the times that you came out. So this gives us an option to be out here when it might be a little bit muddy.
All right, so let's head over to the pond here.
All right, looks like we have somebody.
Now, like you said, it's not running right now, but when it is running, what makes this run? What makes it tick?
So there's a pump here, this is a plastic rock, most of the kids know by now. Then there's a pump box here. Usually when you pull that back, you get something jumping on you,
gotcha.
Like a frog or a toad. So that is really cool because once you plug it in, there's a hose about this wide that runs under the ground up to here. And you'll see some of the work we're doing here, clearing out this creek bed. Over time, the erosion has filled in this creek bed.
Oh, yeah.
It's supposed to just be liner and rocks, but anytime something dies, leaves or the plants that were here that year, it creates more soil. So we're just trying to clean that out. We're actually working on that this week after school. And so that hose that comes up goes under where I'm standing. And this is like a big tub full of rocks. So that water rises up, comes out of this box here, and then runs down the stream and right back around again. It does increase the evaporation on the hot days of the summer, so you do need to add water to the system with the hose, but it is the same water that keeps going around and around.
Gotcha. What do you have in the pond there, Mrs. Lair? What's usually in there occupying it? Yeah, living.
A lot of goldfish fish, like they're not all orange, some are different colors, but in the goldfish family. And we have not added goldfish to this pond in 5 years, so they take care of that. We always have a fresh bunch of goldfish. They take care of themselves. We don't feed them. They eat mosquitoes or flies or algae. They take care of themselves. It's better not to add those nutrients to the pond by feeding them. And occasionally we have a turtle. Every time we put a turtle in here, they wander off. So they just like to stop by. They don't live here.
That's okay. Just like our students, they move on eventually.
Exactly.
They move on just like that.
Exactly.
All right, so you got a special area here, and we saw that when we looked at the shed. You could see some of the this is some of the artists from the work and artists in residence and things like that.
We are on our 1, 2, 3, soon to be our 4th artist in residence project out here.
Gotcha.
That I think that by the time your students see this, they'll already be working on it.
Yeah.
This is not for drainage. People think, oh no, don't go in there, but this is a place to go and be, and some kids like to lay down in it or just like bring their clipboard and do their work here, or sensory, play with the rocks. As long as they stay here, it's great. Kind of a relaxation spot.
Yeah, somebody's got the little patterns going there. You got the little piles, the rock piles going there. All right.
Yes. And always from 9 months a year we have to weed out here. So these clovers aren't hurting anything, but they really shouldn't.
Gotcha.
Either.
All right, so we'll skip over here. Let's go skip to the garden area.
Okay.
All right, look at this, going over the little bridge, the little walkway here. Look at that.
So our most recent Eagle Scout is a Springford student, Shane Ludgate. He's working on some things right now. He didn't go to Upper Providence, but he's a member of our community. I think you know him. And he, over spring break, replaced all but one of our beds, which had just been replaced, which was a lot of work for him. And as you know, there were exposed screws, and the wood does wear out over time. So that was a great asset. And then last week, we added a dump truck full of soil into the garden. So now these are almost ready to be planted. They say to plant after Mother's Day, so a couple weeks we'll be able to do that.
All right, so what do you got planted in these right here?
Right now we have garlic, which gets planted around Halloween time and gets harvested around the 4th of July. And over here we have a few, it's mostly weeds, but we have a few pea plants coming up. We lost some of them when we replaced the bed, which is okay, it's no problem. Most of the planting will happen from like 8 days from now, all summer long, until we plant garlic again after Halloween. So that's our season. And on Thursdays in the summer, in the morning, we harvest and bring the food over to Project Outreach.
Oh, nice.
And we love to have UPE pond friends. So if any families are really interested in this area, they should just reach out to us, and we'll make sure they know how to get in here and how to help in the summertime.
And speaking about getting in here, this is kind of like a project you made even for your students and anybody. We saw some 4th graders here out this week. I got some video of Mr. Mounts. I know Mr. Nice and Mr. Pence usually brings his kids out here also. What is their job? What is their job?
We love, the more students that are involved out here, the better. In fact, Mrs. Pastino's class has a bunch of seedlings ready to go in. So we would love to have classes out here planting. Also, like I said, the ongoing weeding situation, something that we can always do. Right now, this new soil on the top needs to get mixed with the older soil on the bottom, because this is mostly compost, like really, really strong soil, and it might be even too strong for some of the seedlings. So we want to mix the old with the new.
Gotcha. And where do you get all the compost, the soil, and where do you get the seeds and things like that?
We've gotten help from Aikenback. We've gotten help from Green Ridge Gardens. We've gotten help from Renninger's Farm. We've gotten a lot of help from Wotan's because they helped us choose all the trees for in here and helped us with the patio. So every local garden center that knows about us has helped, donated seeds, and actually come out, delivered trees, things like that. The local community has been super supportive.
That's awesome. Well, I want to take just a huge thank you for you giving us this tour, and hopefully everybody get outside and enjoy the pond. We're starting to get nice weather there, Mrs. Lair, so don't be afraid, teachers. Bring your kids out here. Thanks a lot, Mrs. Lair. Hey everybody, welcome again to our virtual school-wide meeting. I'm Mr. Kolb, of course, and what am I doing out here in the hallway all by myself? I'm not all by myself. I'm going to be talking to some of the 4th grade students here at your school about some of the work that they have outside their classrooms displayed. Because 4th graders don't just sit around their heads all day and do nothing. Guess what? They're working hard, just like you, and you're going to be there one day. Hopefully I get to talk to you one day and get to see your artwork outside. All right, so let's go talk to those 4th graders. All right, we're here with Harper. Harper, what's your last name?
Ranieri.
Ranieri. All right, so Harper, we see you standing right below some of your work here. What was the assignment? What did you have to do here? It looks really creative. What did you have to do?
An adjective acrostic.
Oh, an adjective acrostic. All right, so you had to take your first letter of each letter of your first name and write, I guess, some adjectives or something like that with it. All right, so go ahead and read us yours. Take us through yours. All right, so go ahead and start with the H.
For the H, I have honest, happy, and humorous. And for A, I have awesome, artistic, and adventurous. For R, I have respectful, rare, and responsible. For P, I have passionate, peaceful, and positive. And then for E, I have energetic, excellent, and exquisite. For I have
Rational, yeah.
remarkable, right-handed, and for my other R, I have relaxed, record-breaking, and refreshing.
Oh, so what was your favorite part about doing this, by the way?
Doing all the drawings.
Yeah, I was going to say, it looks pretty good there, Harper. All right, so thanks a lot there, Harper. All right, we got another 4th grade student out here in Mr. Mounts' class. What's your name again?
Michael.
Michael, what's your last name?
Galani.
Oh, hey, how we doing there, Michael? All right, so Michael, you did the same thing. So go ahead and read us your adjectives there. You got some pretty good artwork there.
First one for M, I have marvelous, mystical, and magnificent. For I have intelligent, incredible, and important. For C, I have clever, charming, custom. And for H, I have helpful, happy, and honest. For A, advanced, amazing, awesome. For E, energetic, efficient, extraordinary. And finally for L, loyal, lovely, and liked.
Ah, so Mike, what was your favorite part about doing this kind of project?
Well, I really liked to customize my letters and look the things up in the dictionary.
Oh, you liked it? I was going to say, how'd you get those big words? Those are some big words for our kindergarten and 1st graders there, even our 3rd graders. So you found most of those in the dictionary?
Yep, and thesaurus too.
Oh, the thesaurus. Oh, so that's a good book. Good tip for there from Michael.
Hey AJ, are you excited for your tryouts? Yeah, I'm excited, but I'm a little nervous as well.
Okay, girls, line up.
All the girls lined up in a single file, and then AJ and Kayla talk about teams while they're doing time. Do you think you'll win? Kayla, do you think you'll be on team A or B? I don't know. I just hope we're on the same team as you. We never have to face each other. It'll be a whole basketball field. I know. Me too. We separated into 4 teams of 4. 2 teams went against each other, and the other 2 teams did the same. After the coach saw them play, he started to cut people.
Number 13, you cut. Take your bags and leave.
The coach did this until there were only 8 people left at shots. Luckily, AJ and Taylor were both still there. Coach began to start picking people to add on to the team.
Adrian, Amelia, Sophia, Emma, and Mia. You guys are on Team A. Remember that. Kayla, Charlotte, Elizabeth. You guys are on Team B. Remember that.
AJ and Kayla were upset that they weren't on the same team, but at the same time they didn't really care because they didn't think that they would ever have to go against each other.
It was 18 schools' first ever festival. They were excited, but they didn't know that.
I'm so excited, but I hope I don't see
AJ's worst fear had come true. She saw her best friend.
Oh no, oh no.
All right, continuing our tour of the fourth grade hallways. We're out in front of Mrs. Phillips' class, and like I said, these fourth graders are working hard. They got something unique and original here. And to help me out, we have Gabby from Mrs. Phillips' class. How you doing there, Gabby?
Good.
All right, Gabby, so what do you got there? It looks like it's a kite, but it looks a little different. What is that?
It's a Diamante poem.
A Diamante poem. All right, so what is that? What makes up a Diamante poem?
So there are two opposite things, one on top and one on bottom, and it makes a diamond shape. When you're listing back, it's about one or the other.
Okay, gotcha. All right, so what was your poem on? Did you have to do a specific topic?
No, I just picked a random one.
All right, go ahead and read it for us there, Gab.
Water, clear, wet, splashing, calm, relaxing. Swim, slide, run, sweat. Flaming, burning, steaming, orange, hot, fire.
That is awesome. Look at that, boys and girls. That's a great poem. All right, we got another poem for us right here. Here's Ian. Ian, you did a poem, correct?
Yes.
What was your topic?
My topic was nice and mean.
Oh, nice. Oh, and mean. Very good. I see the mean face and the happy face right there. All right, can you read that for us, please?
Yes. Nice, sweet, kind, pleasing, giving, donating. Sweet, helpful, rude, bad, kicking, yelling, fighting. Hurtful, rude, mean.
Oh, now what was your inspiration for this poem? Did you have any inspiration?
No, I just decided to
You just
do it.
decided? Because you got some big words there, you know what I mean? Look at that, kindergartners. Look at that. Look at that mean face and that happy face. Well, thanks for reading that for us, Ian.
You're welcome.
All right. All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome. We got a special guest with us here today, Mrs. Pastino. She's one of the leaders in our building who's been here for 40 years. Just kidding, Mrs. Pastino. But she is the autistic teacher, and as many of you know, it is Autism Awareness Month. Hello, Mrs. Pastino.
Hi, Mr. Colt. Thanks for having me.
Oh, thanks for having us. I love this room. We got a lot going on here, so it looks fun.
We
So-
do have a lot going on.
Yes, you do.
We
Yes, you
do.
do. All right. So tell us about what is Autism Awareness Month? Why do you only have a month? I'm sure you're aware of it all season long.
I am. I think we all are. April is Autism Awareness Month. However, they would like to change it to Autism Acceptance Month. So although we want to be aware of differences, we want to accept everybody, be kind to everyone, whether or not you have autism or not. So a lot of times people have questions about what is autism? Can I catch it? Is it a cold? No, you cannot catch it. But I have a great book here called The Autism Acceptance Book. I also sent Mr. Cope a link for a video called What's Up with Nick. So that's going to teach you a little bit more about autism, but I just wanted to kind of touch on what autism is, what you might see, how you could help as a friend. I think it's important to be friends with students that are different than you or individuals that are different than you. I mean, I'm friends with Mr. Culp. He's much different than I am. And we accept one another. So I think the big important thing here to get is that everybody is different. That is okay. Different individuals act differently from one another. That is okay. We can be friendly and kind to everyone. So we want to accept everybody just the way they are.
I totally agree with that. Yeah. So I mean, there's always a case. Well, two things. When you said who wants it to be changed to acceptance instead of awareness?
I think the entire autism community wants to change it to acceptance rather than awareness, although it is great to be aware of different things, your surroundings, people's differences. The next step is to be accepting of those individuals.
All right. You're going to read us this book?
I'm not going to read you the whole book. I'm just going to read. I'm sorry.
That's okay. You can read us some
Sorry.
excerpts. That's fine. And we know you're from Norristown, so do you need any help?
I know I'm good. I'm actually from Trooper, but Norristown will do. I went to Methacton.
Thank you.
Yep, anytime. So the Autism Acceptance book, there's a lot of fun resources in this book, but I think the most important thing, I'm sorry, I just lost my page, is kind of figuring out what is autism. What is it? Well, it's a condition that affects the way some people's brain works. Not everybody's brain works the exact same way. Again, totally fine. People with autism are wired differently from other people. That means their brains work differently. They might not act or behave like everybody else does at the same time. Again, they're just different in some ways, and we all know that being different is okay. Here are some ways that some people with autism may act differently. People with autism often find it very difficult to communicate. So that means talking. Sometimes individuals are nonverbal, and that means that they don't have a voice to talk like some of us do here. So sometimes they'll carry around a device or a computer. It looks like an iPad, which it is, but it's their voice. So they can use the pictures and the words on that device, and they can communicate with you and I. So although some students with autism do have a voice and can communicate verbally like I am now, some use a computer. Some use pictures to communicate with their peers and their surroundings and their families, and that's okay.
That is a form of communication anyway, right? Correct?
Absolutely.
I mean, it's definitely, it's just like you said, just a little bit different. Now, do you think it's more of they can't use the voice, or that's just what they choose to use that type of communication? Because everybody has to communicate in a certain way in which they feel comfortable. Is that the way they feel comfortable some?
At times, yes. Sometimes they just don't have the voice. They were born without the vocal cords in order to communicate verbally. Sometimes individuals feel more comfortable using the device or using the iPad or using pictures to exchange communication. So it's all about what that individual feels comfortable doing and how they communicate.
Gotcha.
So the communication piece, sometimes the social piece, they have trouble making friends. So individuals with autism sometimes don't know how to make friends, and they don't know how to ask to play. So you may see some individuals by themselves, and what do we do in those situations on the playground? We go invite people to play with us. We go ask if you want to go swing, do you want to go play kickball? So sometimes they have just a little bit of harder time making friends.
That makes sense.
Absolutely, and that's when we can step in and kind of be their friend with them.
And a lot of people have trouble with that.
Correct.
I'm going to ask Mr. Pence to play with me this afternoon.
I think that's a great idea. People with autism have a hard time making friends or learning how to act around other people. So I just touched on that. So if you see whether or not an individual has autism or not, if you see somebody playing by themselves on the playground, I think it's important to ask if they want to play and be a good friend, because everybody's different and that's okay, and we need to be kind to everybody. You want to treat somebody how you would want to be treated. Some people with autism have problems in the way their brains deal with the information they get from their senses. So sometimes the lighting in the classrooms can be painful for individuals with autism. Maybe it's too bright, maybe loud noises hurt their ears too much. They're very sensitive to some of the senses: touch, smell, taste, hear. So those are some other things that we can talk about as well, and this is what this book talks about. So if anybody ever wants to read this book, I will absolutely share it with everybody at school.
That's awesome. So basically, long story short, they're really not that much different than us. Because, again, you talk about there's many kids we know who do not like the loud sounds, that certain lights or certain things around distract them. They're pretty much like any other child, just maybe a little bit more sensitive than the average child.
Absolutely, Mr. Culp. I never thought I'd say that, but you are 100% right.
That is 100% right.
Yes.
Wow. You know what? You were 100% great today. Thanks
Thank
for
you.
joining us.
Thank you, Mr. Culp.
April celebrates many things nationally. One of the days is Pretzel Day. I'm here at the Pretzel Factory. I'm going to get the lowdown here on the Pretzel Factory. I'm going to talk to somebody in here and find out what they do every day. So come on inside. All right, look at those yummy pretzels right there. All right, talk about pretzels. We got Sharon Gabriel. How you doing there, Sharon? Works here. It's a good old pretzel factory. All right, so Sharon, number one, how long has Pretzel Factory been in existence?
Oh no, not trivia questions.
That's all right. You can just give me an
I'm
estimate.
supposed to know this. This particular store's been here 15 years.
15 years. So obviously they've been
Franchise,
around.
I want to say 20, but I'm not
Yeah,
100%
you might be
sure.
right. All right, so we see you making the pretzels there. So one of my things is, and I'm curious about, I'm sure most, what's the top 3 selling items in the Pretzel Factory, by the way?
You can see them up here. We have the full-size pretzels, and then we have our rivets, and then we have our minis. Those are our 3.
Oh, the minis. All right. So yeah, I assume the regular pretzels sell probably the most and things like that, and you got the rivets and things. So what makes a Philly pretzel a Philly pretzel? Like, why is it labeled a Philly pretzel? Why isn't it a Collegeville pretzel or is there some secret ingredient?
The owner of the franchise started down in Philadelphia selling them down there, and then he developed it into what we have today.
All right,
It's
beautiful.
originated down in Philadelphia.
Okay, all right. Because I was going to say, because Philly pretzels are very distinct when you go down to the city and things like that. So it's a good thing. He stole the recipe, kept it, and started a business. That's pretty good. No, it's good business.
He started it all for himself. He didn't have to steal it. He
Yeah,
did it
yeah.
all on his own.
That's awesome. That's awesome. All right, so like we know Pretzel Day is coming up. It's the 26th, I believe.
Yeah, it's
All right, so how packed does it get? Why do you think people come? Do you think it's just for that free pretzel?
Yes, it is. It's definitely because of that. But yeah, it's one of our busiest days of the year.
Busiest days of the year, I'm
Yeah.
sure. All right, and what else? Like what days a week are probably the busiest here at the Pretzel Factory?
Super Bowl is hands
Oh,
down. our most
boy.
busy day. Yes, and no hesitation there.
Yep.
Then holidays like New Year's Eve, Christmas Eve, Halloween, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Anytime you would be gathering with pretzels, that's when we're our busiest.
Gotcha. So what's just give me the steps. All I want is the steps. How do you make a soft pretzel? Like where do you start with, and how do you roll it and all that?
Every morning we start over here. We have bags of flour. And they're behind the rack here.
Oh,
You have
yeah.
up here. All right, over here
Oh,
we
yeah,
got-
lots
this
of
is
bags
great.
of flour.
We got
Oh,
lots of
yeah.
bags of flour. We got a gigantic mixer. If you look
That
over
is
here, it's huge. So we mix flour, water, yeast every morning. And
That's
we put
pretty
it
good.
in the stringer.
And the stringer here.
Once the dough rolls out down at this end.
And it rolls right off the conveyor
and then
here.
you stand here and you twist each pretzel by hand.
Oh my goodness. Now how much does each batch make?
About 250 pretzels.
250 pretzels. Oh
Yes.
my gosh. That's a lot of pretzels right there. Now, those bags are pretty heavy. You don't throw your back out lifting those bags there, do you?
Yes. No.
All right, so hey, that's a pretty good. Well, you don't have to give us the ingredients because we know that that's probably locked and key. So I appreciate it. Now, how long does it have to cook? How long does a regular pretzel, and what's the temperature in that oven?
That oven's 525 degrees. It takes about 5 minutes.
5 minutes
Yeah.
for a good pretzel?
Yep.
All right, now let's. I like mine a little darker. How much would you leave it in just for a
A
little?
little extra minute there.
A little extra minute.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's pretty good. Well, I'm gonna let you get back to work.
Okay.
Thanks for joining us there and telling us all about the pretzels. Well, that was great being inside and talking to Sharon about the pretzels and those special pretzels that they make. Unbelievable the process they go through. They got to get up early in the morning. And well, I'll tell you what the greatest thing about doing that interview at the Pretzel Factory was. Look at that. She gave me pretzels. Yum, yum.
What's going on, Upper Providence? It's your host, Mark Schmallow, Mr. Keel, here with another exercise activity for you to do in the classroom. Our first one, we have what is called a Tabata. A Tabata is 20 seconds of work, 10 seconds of rest. So you'll do 4 rounds over this side, 20 seconds of running in place, then you get 10 seconds of rest. Then you'll do 20 mountain climbers, 10 seconds of rest. And you'll go through that a total of 4 times. Running in place, you run trying to get your knees high and pump those arms. For the mountain climbers, you get yourself into a push-up position and you jump one leg up and then switch and switch. So you'll do that for 20 seconds. Run in place for 20 seconds, 10 seconds of rest. Mountain climbers for 20 seconds, 10 seconds of rest, and you'll go through that a total of 4 times. Exercise number 2 is going to be 3 rounds. 3 rounds of 10 burpees, 10 jumping jacks, and 10 squats. Let's go through those movements together. Your burpee is getting down onto the ground. Push your chest up, pop the hips, jump in the air and clap. That's 1 and 2. You go all the way to 10. Next are the jumping jacks. 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way to 10. And then we have 10 squats. Get your feet under your shoulders, drive the knees out, come down to the bottom for 10 reps. Okay? 3 rounds, 10 burpees, 10 jumping jacks, 10 squats. And for our last workout, I call this one the 100. Because after you're done with this one, you're going to be in 100 reps. Our movements are, let me bring that closer, 20 lunges, 20 sit-ups, 20 plank knee to elbow, 20 star jumps, and 20 chair step-ups, not chair jumps. And then add that up, you get 100. For the lunges, it's going to be 10 with the right leg, 10 with the left leg. A lunge is taking a big step out. Try to touch that back knee, 1. Take the other leg, big step out, 2. Notice that my knee is over my heel. Press back up, that's 2. 3, 4. If that's a little difficult, another way that you can do this is do a back step lunge. So instead of stepping forward, take a big step back. 1, big step back, 2. And that does the same thing, maybe just a little easier for some students. Sit-ups are next. Now, you might need to tuck your feet or pull your pants to get up. 1. You will have 20 sit-ups. May be helpful if maybe you have a friend step on your toes. Next up are the plank knee to elbow. Now, these are new, but you're going to get into a push-up position. And then from here, you're trying to get your knee up to your elbow. And you'll switch sides. 10 right, 10 left. That's 4, 5, 6. All the way to 20. Next up are star jumps. Star jumps, you come down in that bottom position, get your hands to touch the floor, and jump up like you're a star. For 20 reps. And the last one are the chair step-ups. Now, it may be helpful to have your desk right here, so that way you can have your chair pushed up to it and your chair doesn't move. Otherwise, you're going to see my head disappear. Step up onto the chair, stand up, carefully come back down. Try to switch legs if you can. 20 total reps on that, and that will get you to 100 reps. Get fit, get healthy, have a great day. I'm walking here to stop this video.
Hello, Upper Providence. It's me, Mr. Nice. If you don't recognize me without my mask on. And I am here at my house. And I am supposed to make a little video about a quote-unquote farm that I have. It's not really a farm, but I do have some really fun farm animals. So come a little closer here. Let me introduce you to 2 of my friends. This is Akila. We call her Kiki for short. She is a pony. I know she looks big like a horse, but a pony actually indicates a size of horse, not a type. So what you, for example, if we look down here, I don't know if you can see her. Ouch, that actually hurt. This is Roxanne. We call her Roxy for short. She is a miniature pony here. So that's what a lot of people think, that this is a pony and this is a horse. But in actuality, they are both ponies. Akila is just a really big pony. And Akila, as you can see, she's a little muddy right now. She does like to roll in the mud. Frank, if you move around, you can maybe get a little closer and you can see. And the reason why that horses sometimes like to roll in the mud is because it helps keep the flies off. So you will often see horses muddy. And she's really active right now because she knows that it's feeding time. It's around about the time she gets her afternoon hay, which, you know, I can go get from the barn and give to her. So that's why she keeps pawing the ground and giving me headbutts. She's trying to tell me that she wants food. So one of the things we do at our house is to, here, I'll tell you what I can give her. One of the things we do at our house is to not waste a lot of food, because horses can eat certain food, and then in a second I'll take you in and show you the chickens, and chickens love to eat food scraps too. So I have some apple core here. Horses love apples. When you feed a horse, you have to remember to keep your hand flat like a plate. And we'll give this piece to, of course, Roxy. This is a big piece here. What do you think about that? Did you like the apple?
She's nodding.
Mm-hmm. Tasty, tasty. There we go. That's not going to be enough. Horses need a lot of food, so we'll give her some hay in a second. So why don't we'll take a pause right now, and then we'll go into the chicken coop.
Shoot.
All right, everyone, I am now here in the chicken coop. You can see I am surrounded by my little friends. We have roughly about 3 varieties here. You can see that there's some brown ones. Even though technically they're called reds, those are called Rhode Island Reds. And then we have these really pretty, 2 of these guys with the speckled black. Those are actually chickens that came from the Chakowski family. So if you know Miss C, those two guys were living in her garage for a while. And then we have some white ones with some light flecks, and those are called the Leghorns. So these guys are also really excited right now because I have some food scraps from our family, the bottom of the chip bag, some accidentally burned pancakes, and, you know, the bottom of the lettuce that no one likes to eat, and the top of the pepper. These guys love food scraps. Just like that. They go crazy, and then, you know, they take it.
Oh, they take it.
And that's that. So when you come in here, you have to check the water. Make sure that works. And we have plenty of food over there, and there's their feeder. And then, of course, I'm going to come over here to the nesting boxes and take whatever eggs they have laid. Here's one, here's one. Now these eggs here are fakes. They're not real. They are to fool the chickens, although it doesn't really work that well, into not pecking the real eggs. The theory being that if they peck the fake egg enough, they won't be so interested in occasionally pecking the real eggs. So this one cracked a little, but that's okay. It'll be all right. So there we go, everyone. We just got 5 eggs, and you'll get about that much every day. Here's something cool. These 2 eggs are brown. This one kind of has some pretty speckles on it. The brown eggs come from the brown chickens, and the whitish eggs come from the whitish chickens. Weird, right? You wouldn't think it would work that way, but it does. So that's all I have. Just these 5 eggs, and we can take those and go put those in the kitchen. So we're gonna pause the video, and that's that. Did you?
Got it.
Is it going? All right. Okay, everyone. The quick mini tour of the farm is almost over, but I thought it would be important for you to see the hayloft. And this is where all the horses' food comes from. Now, we are getting into summertime, and that means that the horses get to eat way more grass because it's actually growing. So we can let them into the pasture, which has all the grass. They really love that. But if you don't give them a break from the pasture, they will eat all the grass until it's absolutely gone, and then all you have is mud. So on nights when we don't let them eat the grass, we give them some hay. So I'm about to do that now. The hay is held together with this twine. Okay, it's just called baler's twine. I'm gonna chop those 2 pieces right there. All right. And the one thing you always want to make sure you do is take the baler's twine and make sure you throw that away or move it away, because if you accidentally throw some of the baler's twine into where the horses eat, they could accidentally eat that and then they would choke, and that would be horrible. So, Frank, if you want to follow, here's the horses right down here. Oh man, they're so excited. By the way, I don't want you to think my horses are starving, because every time the vet comes and looks at the horses, she does kind of subtly, in a very nice way, point out that they are both slightly overweight, especially the little sassy one there. So Frank, come on over. See, now they're happy, everyone. Munch, munch, munch.
You can really hear them munching.
Oh, you really can. Yeah, they're loud. And that's that. There we go. No, I don't have any treats for you. The hay, what is the treat? All right. So, Upper Providence, thanks for visiting on the nice family farm and meeting Akila and Roxy and the bunch of chickens who live in there. No, they don't have names. I can't keep them straight. Thanks for watching. See ya.
All right, everybody. Hey, thanks for joining us. That's another school-wide meeting down. We just got maybe 2 more to go, so it was really great. What a great month April is. We talked about the garden. April showers bring those flowers. National Autism Awareness Month, or Acceptance Month, as Mrs. Pastino mentioned. Pretzel Month. Hopefully you got your pretzel and the pretzel day on the 26th. And then Mr. Keel giving us a nice little workout again. And then talking to his 4th grade students. And then special thanks to Mr. Nice for taking us on his farm and doing what he has